What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars with your girl, Savvy Wavy One, next to the fabulous KOC. How's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm with you. I'm hydrated. I'm caffeinated. I'm not jet lagged. Life's great. Life's great.
Not
I'm happy.
hungover.
I know. So unlike me.
Life is good.
Yeah, I'm cruising. You're like, is this what health feels like? Actually, that's the best part about being post sick. There's one day it clicks. You're like, oh, I'm healthy again. Like you forget what feeling healthy feels like, and you're like, I'm alive and well. It's great.
Absolutely. Do you ever, when
How
you're
are you-
sick, you're like, I'll never take it for granted again?
Yeah.
You tell
Or,
yourself that, and then you
or I
do.
always think that's me. I'm like, oh, I'm sick forever. This is the rest of my life. I'm like, what rationale? Give it 2 days. But that's
Yeah,
like exactly. I take it for granted. But I'm like, now I'm not. I'm not taking it for granted. I'm filled with gratitude of my health.
absolutely. I love it. Well, I had something funny happen this weekend.
So,
So I get this package from Halara, and it's this cute brand. And I open it, and there's these leggings with this really weird buckle on it. I'm like, very bikery. Then I see a skirt, a matching skirt. I'm like, oh, and I send it to my management team, and I'm like, hey guys, did they mean to send this? It's very biker. I don't think we put our order in for any of this. And they were like, oh, that's so strange. Let me ask them. One of the girls is like, oh my gosh, they sent over this package because Taylor Swift was wearing this skirt at Coachella. And yeah, and she sent the article, and literally the article references Halara and that she was wearing this really cute pleated tennis skirt, and then there's this buckle that you buckle onto your leg. So it's kind of trendy and edgy and very biker-esque. But I was like, oh, and when I saw it, I was like, I don't think I'll wear that. The minute she said Taylor Swift, I was like, putting it on right now. Don't you worry. So it's very cute now. It's very cute.
I love it. I loved it. The second I heard Taylor Swift. Did you hear about Bloglotti's skirt and tennis and Taylor Swift?
I did.
Oh my God. So if you guys didn't know, Bloglotti's Queen Pilates Empire. Now she's I don't even think she's posted on YouTube in a year. And she's gone full on to her own clothing line called Pop Flex and has a big cult following. You might not see it, but the girls who know. I personally never bought, so I kind of don't know, but I almost did because they posted this picture of Taylor Swift in this tennis skirt. And it's this flowy, girly, absolutely adorable pink skirt. And it's so cute. If you watch the video, Bloglottie is reacting to it. You can tell it was this is her dream. Her biggest artist is Taylor Swift. She's wanted to make the thought of Taylor Swift. And she's not on PR. They were we don't know. She must have bought this with her own money.
Wow.
Just seeing it, it's the cutest thing. But also, I instantly went to go buy, and they're sold out. I knew.
Oh.
I knew there wasn't a chance. But you bet your ass I put myself on the waiting list for it. I'm like, not even because it's a Taylor Swift thing. That wouldn't influence it for me. It is a dang cute skirt. She nailed it. It is so cute.
Do you think that because Taylor Swift has copious amounts of money, she could be wearing a Louis Vuitton skirt? Do you think it's and this is an honest question, a PR move of being this is relatable, girls wear these, and she has a stylist? Or do you think she's just a good old bargain hunter like us?
I think I might know the answer. I actually don't know, conspiracy theory. But she does have a stylist who's actually, and I think she might have gotten a new one because that's actually something Taylor Swift has never been congratulated for, is her style. You don't know her as a style queen. Some people might like it, but she's not a Kim K who's fashion blow up everywhere, or you just name it any other fashion girly. That's just not Taylor Swift. And even though she has a stylist. So I think a lot of people like that, they the stylist would bring in a bunch of stuff for her, be this will look good. And she picks from there. And I think Taylor Swift is self-aware enough to know that she's the relatable girly. And if she suddenly was flashing Birkins and Gucci shirts and Cartier bracelets, it's so hard. Because if you examine her outfits, you don't see a logo, but I'm like, yeah, that's a $5,000 purse, or that's a $10,000 necklace, but you never see the logos. She's very definition of quiet luxury, but not like Birkin quiet luxury where everyone knows what a Birkin is at this point. Like, I think she's either self-aware or just kind of that girl. Either way, I think she
Love it.
knows people would not find it relatable if she showed up in like just Chanel head to toe all the time. And she could be, because like her shoes are Louis Vuittons on stage.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's
Yeah.
completely against luxury brands.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. Well, I had to share that tidbit because I was amazed. What's your first hot take?
Are we all in a quarter life crisis, or is running in? I'm a little confused right now. So running's having its moment. We're all running, joining run clubs. But then like our parents did this in their 20s to 30s. Like I feel that's just the pipeline. You hit 25 to 40, you start signing up for marathons. It's what we do. So I'm like, is running actually in, or millennials just going through a quarter life crisis, and a little bit of the younger Gen Z? Which is it?
Fair. Like maybe every single generation is like, they're at that point. They're like, they'll get over that, or they'll keep up with it. Maybe.
Is it millennials are all over 25, or is running in? I don't know. There's my hot take.
The world will never know.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's a good one. I like it.
Okay,
mine is, if I could have a candle that smells like a bonfire, I would. And I think it's more because I want the nostalgia of good times, summer. Like I just recently smelled a bonfire around my house, and I just immediately was like flooded back with memories of being at my lake house with my family, eating s'mores until I wanted to puke. Like, and if I could have that in a candle, I would, because it would just like, scent is like the strongest memory you can have, you know? So it just sounds really nice. I'm sure there's a bonfire candle, and I bet you would actually probably be really annoying because bonfires kind of smell and like make your clothes smell, but I just love it. And it really has to do with our topic today of summer. Do you have another hot take? I was like, did you write two more?
Oh,
one more? Oh, you did.
We'll skip. I did. That was from last week. Actually, I'm just going to vent real fast.
Okay.
Why is there only one person in the relationship that fills the Nespresso water? Does the other one person just think it magically comes? Like, what do they think? Do they ever go, thank you for always making sure the water's filled? Or do they just put, because when I'm in Vancouver on my own, I'm obviously responsible for filling the water. It's always filled. I make sure before I go to bed, you have a full thing. And obviously when I'm with Megs, twice as much coffee, twice as fast. And I'm like, every single day I'm filling this thing. And I wonder in his mind, does he sit there and go, oh, so nice Keltie does that? Or does he just magically thinks the water comes? You know what I mean? So there's always one person in the relationship.
That is a question I think a lot of women have, because there are some things that men are quite oblivious to, and that is 1000% one of them. I have to actively remind Michael of things like that. And he's pretty good. He'd be pretty receptive, but like, you just kind of have to be like, hey, did you know, like this morning, our barista, the Breville, it was out of water when I went to make coffee. And I thought, what a lovely thing you did. You knew that. You saw that, right? So every now and then you just have to humble them. And my favorite thing is like, he'll wash a dish, just like rinse it, and then he'll put it on the counter. And I'll be like, oh, look, there's a dishwasher. That goes in the dishwasher. Like, don't let it sit there. And then he's like, oh yeah. And just sometimes I don't know. Maybe it's how they were raised. I have no idea. But even I've gotten to the point where I have a lot of hampers around our house because Michael will just like throw his clothes randomly anywhere before he showers. And I will find clothes right next to the hamper. And all I have to do is just kind of stand there and look at it. And he will acknowledge. He'll be like, oh my God, that's me being lazy, you know? Yeah. And vice versa. Like I totally do things with like leaving toothpaste cat. Like I know I'm such a type B person, so I think it drives him nuts. But it is funny. You have such a valid point on the Nespresso. It's something so little, but they don't notice.
And Meg's usually good about those things, but I just had this epiphany. I was like, I fill this thing every day. What do you think happens when we go to sleep? Santa fills this? Like, what do you think happens?
Did you tell him that?
No, I'm just waiting for the day. I'm reluctantly waiting for the day of, Keltie, thank you for always filling the Nespresso. Like, you're welcome. You noticed.
And no, this is what you have to do. No, you have to dump out the water for when he gets it. So he's like, oh, this runs
Mm.
out of water. And then he fills it.
Well, we only live together half the year usually, a little bit more over the half. You know what I mean? So he obviously knows how to fill it. But
True.
when I'm there, that's where I'm holding out. I'm putting my feet in the ground, and I'm waiting for the day of a thank you until I burst. And I'm like, where's my thank you? I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for always being on top of the Nespresso.
Yeah. I carry the water from the well.
Do you know
Give
how
me a
hard it
thank
is
you.
to lift that half a gram of plastic, hold it under
Actually,
the
it's
sink for
very annoying.
approximately 4 seconds, and put it back? It takes me 15 seconds, and I've never been thanked. The nerve.
The nerve. That's a good hot take.
Yeah.
Meg's has he ever listened?
No.
Oh,
No, he's not.
he's too busy with his chess.
If it's not chess golf, he couldn't care less. It's like
I was
girly
like, maybe
talk.
he'll get
Ooh.
the hint. Guess not. Guess not.
Nope. Never see the day. So safe. That's why I feel safe venting. He won't
Yeah.
hear it.
That's totally fair. Okay, well, let's get into today's topic. We won't dilly-dally. We thought, summer is approaching, or it is summer, and that means, like I said, bonfires, barbecues, traveling, lots and lots of aperol spritz. Maybe we're going clubbing, whatever. It's the summer. We're staying up late, sun's out late. And that means, how do we balance our fitness goals, staying on track with a social life during this? And I feel like this is very relatable to all of us, that it comes to that point where you're like, go, go, go constantly. And you kind of have it fall behind. And then you like kind of feel icky in a sense where you're like, I just need a routine. And so we thought we'd go over a couple different ways that we, try and keep up with our social life in the summer, because we should enjoy it, but also how do we maintain it, with our fitness goals and make sure we're at least keeping our mental sanity.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. First things first is, let me pull it up. Time management with fitting workouts in. What would be your tip for summer when you're busy, you're working, maybe you're running around, taking the kids out, whatever?
I've heard this concept called exercise snacks, and I love it. And I think it's best in the summertime. So it's the idea, instead of like having one long workout every day, it's just little snacks throughout your day. So stop and do 10 squats, go for a 10-minute walk, do a few push-ups, a little jumping jacks, a little dance, just like sporadic movements throughout the day. It adds up over time. So think if you just every 2 to 3 hours go for a 5-minute walk, by the end of the day, you almost have, half an hour. So I think that's kind of the nice thing about the summertime. You want to be outside, you want to be moving, and you could just kind of sporadically throughout the day take a coffee break outside, get up from your desk, stretch, dance around for a few minutes, just do those little moments when it's so nice to just, especially when you're outside, just step outside, move a little for 5 minutes, come back in. And versus it's not daunting. You don't have to put a jacket on. You don't have to put shoes. You can just step outside, get some vitamin D, and move a little.
I love that. Exercise snacks. That also makes me hungry. I was thinking I'm going to get a snack after this. So,
or take a little, just every few hours, go for a snack, walk to your snack, go down the street, walk, get a little cute something.
That's true.
Exercise snack
or even
with a snack.
walk. Yeah, I was going to say, take your snack and go for a walk. I love that. Okay, cool. Good tip. Mine is plan social outings like around certain physical activities. So in the summer, if you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't have time to go to the gym and maybe I'm hanging out with some friends, whatever it is, kill two birds with one stone. Maybe, recommend, hey, let's go for a walk on the trail. It's lighter out in the summers. Go hiking safely, dancing. There's group fitness classes. Everything's outside usually in the summer. So it's like, maybe instead of going to happy hour that one day, go for a walk outside. Like whenever I visit my mom, she lives near Ruston in Tacoma, Washington. People know it's like on the water. It's really pretty. Her and I will go for like a nice long walk, and then we'll like treat ourselves to bubble tea or coffee, or we'll go get happy hour after. Like, best of both worlds. Still get the drinks, but also get a little exercise in.
Oh, best. That's my favorite way. This is like in the summertime, just like combining. You feel good and you're more social, and it's win-win.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, how to set fitness goals during the summer when you're busy.
you're going to have other priorities in the summer. And the nice thing is they're going to be involved moving and getting outside. So my thing would be simplify and pick either one main goal or just one word for the summer. Now, word, for example, is like play. Your goal for the summer is like play. So that might be doing more sports, feeling more playful in your workouts. It might be hard work. If you're like, get to the workout, just know that 10 to 30 minutes, you're going to give it your all, and then you can relax. So just pick like whatever is in the season you're in, or just one goal, whether it is getting into running, doing a 10K, weightlifting more. And like, obviously you're going to do, if you're into running, you're still going to do some weightlifting and all that balance. But I think summer, your priorities don't have to be fitness. So just having one through line that if it's running, weights, that, keeps you all the way through. And it just kind of keeps you accountable, but it's not overwhelming. So then the summer, you still feel accomplished, but it's not like, you're going to have other priorities in the summer. You're going to want to go on vacation. You want to go to play tennis. You want to have that flexibility of being off your plan, but just having a nice through line, I feel makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I like that. What would you say your word will be?
What will my word be? Well, actually right now I'm doing a series called Her Way to Harmony. And so every 30 days about ish, I'm like, doing a different artist's workout, and then I'm making a song, a remix for it, and then just like learning a new skill. So like, I don't want to say like artist musician, but like, I just learned to twerk last week, and then next month I'm going to learn to dance, and then a month before that I learned to sing. And it's just kind of like training, like performance, like that's kind of for the full year. But yeah, that would be my, just have fun with it, learn a new skill, and that helps me as a performer in general.
That's awesome. That sounds fun. So that's going to be a
It's
YouTube
blast.
video?
Already done, 2 of them have gone up, or only 1, but two
Okay.
are in the work right now. So
Ooh,
that's exciting.
I can't wait for the twerking one.
Yeah, I just gave that away. That's next week. I did Meg the Stallions, and I learned to twerk. And yeah, this girl can now twerk. Fun party trick. I can twerk.
Super fun party trick. And don't worry, remember this video is not going to go up this week, so you didn't give it away.
True.
So you're golden.
Perfect.
Okay. I would say to set a fitness goal in the summer. What I usually do is just setting a realistic goal. Kind of like Keltie said, you don't want to be like overwhelmed. Like, be realistic with, sometimes people are like, I want to go into this hardcore cut, and like, just make sure, does that fit your schedule? Is that fitting like what your plans are? Like, you don't want to be stressed out trying to do this. Why don't you just have it a little bit more flexible? Maybe set a lighter fitness goal. I like how you said, do the main word. So it's not just like, I need to look a certain way. It's like, I want to try and prioritize learning something new. Or I want to try and prioritize playing more, like pickleball, basketball, whatever. Like, summer brings out the like inner children of us, because it was, summer break, and a lot of us live somewhere where it's dark and cold majority of the time. Like growing up in Washington, summers are just nothing but fabulous memories of like getting out of school and having the whole day to swim and go to the lake. And I just loved it. So just try and like alter your fitness goals to keep a peace of mind. Don't necessarily like throw them all away. If you want to keep them, for sure. Maybe it's like exercise 4 times a week, opposed to 5 or 6. Like, just figure out what's doable for you, but also how you could keep that discipline.
I love that. Realistic is really the name of the game. Summer isn't about the biggest. It's what you think you're actually capable of. I love that.
Yeah, totally. It's like, you can worry about all of that in winter, spring. Like,
100%.
Live your life in summer. Come on.
You've been on the grind. It's time to enjoy.
Summer solstice. Is it starting to get warm where you are?
Yes. The sun is out. It's blue skies. It's not fully short weather, but I wore shorts yesterday. Not a great choice, but you can do it.
I love it. Yeah. You can do it without being looked at weird.
It's like that weird weather of like only Canadians and some Northern Americans and like Europeans understand. You can wear a skirt with a puffer jacket. You're like,
yeah,
it doesn't really make sense, but it works in this weather.
Yeah. As long as your top half's covered, you're good.
Exactly.
All right. Next, tip 3. Relationships, friendships in the summer. So how are you keeping them? I literally just ran into a friend at the gym, and she was like, I do not have time for friendships right now. Like, she was saying she was super stressed out because the last summer she took about 6 months off. So more than summer, but she traveled Europe on her own. She was just having like, a little come to realization moment. And she was like, my business really fell apart because of it. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to balance, and I can't keep the relationships. So,
Mhm.
what would be your advice for somebody that's trying to balance that social life, but also trying to have a life with whatever their goals may be, their family, whatever?
Mhm. I feel plan something together. Now, one great idea, plan for saying you can train for it, like a 10K, 5 kilometer, plan saying like a golf trip or just like a local golf day, have like a little tournament amongst your friends and plan it like sometime in a few weeks, in a few months, or something like in the summer. And it's just easy conversation as adults you guys can all do and something to look forward to together. So say golf trip. I'm not saying you have to do golf, it's easy. You get a new golf outfit, send it in the group chat. You're like, oh, why don't we do this? You see some TikTok about golf, send it in there. And it's like, it's you all feel connected. You all have something to look forward together. And it's not all these like creative ideas of like, how'd you guys do today? How was work? It was like, it just, I feel it's just a really nice way to bond as friends. And you can make that active if you want to do running, or it could be as simple as like a beach trip somewhere. And then anytime you see a new bikini, send it to your friends. Be like, oh, send what outfits are you guys bringing? Even if it's a month in advance, like it just is a fun way to keep connected with your friends.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That sounds fun. A trip. Are you doing any trips with your friends this summer?
So I think it's kind of like my birthday month in July, so we'll do something there. So that's the next one. So that's on me planning it. So there'll be something in July we'll be getting together. But also a lot of the friends are doing a lot of traveling. So the nice thing is it's Vancouver and Edmonton. It's kind of like we'll be popping back and forth as friends. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
specifically have that, but we daydream about planning a golf trip together. So that's kind of in the works.
Love.
That's what gave me the idea, but it's not set in stone. But it's like something we're all talking. It's in the talking stages.
Talk about sophisticated. Some ladies planning a golf trip.
We are classy and elegant and
So
wise.
classy.
What can
Tell
I
me you're
say?
30 without telling me you're 30.
Yep, it's like the running. Is it in or am I having a quarter life crisis? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the day you start golfing with your friends to take up golf
Mhm.
seriously, and I feel you. Golf's
Yep,
fun.
it is. And it's for the fits. Honestly, I dressed the part too much without not being good enough at it. And now I can say
Got to put your money where your mouth is.
exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of which, what's yours?
So mine was, I think sometimes summer could be a good time, keep your friends, but also it's a way to learn more about them and like what they like to do actively. Think of like, I try to think of when I lived in New York for the summer, and we'd
Mhm.
make friends, like meet girls maybe at a workout class, or I'd go for like long walks with my friends. I'd meet them for like a sunrise walk. And grab coffee, where like maybe in the winter I just literally met up with them at a pub, or like, when I'd visit and I'd go hang out, I would just like grab happy hour with them. So it's kind of fun. You get to learn like what they like to do. Are they runners? Are they walkers? Like I
Yeah.
love meeting a girl that's like a fast-paced walker with me. I just
Mhm.
made a new friend, and like I made her walk 4 miles with me yesterday, and she stayed on tempo. It was like so much fun.
Perfect.
Because there's
Perfect.
like the meanders, and that's
Mhm.
okay. But if you want like one that you're like, hey, you cool with breaking a sweat? She's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's just kind of fun to find friends that share those same fitness interests. You maybe not even realize it. Like right now, we're picking up more pickleball with our friends, and it's kind of funny. We get to see like who's really competitive, who's
Yeah.
not. Like it's just a good time, to be chill and just be outside,
I
get a
love
sweat
that.
in.
I love that. Love it.
Yeah.
Like-minded people. Always the answer.
Yes. Always good. Next is wellness or supplement tips in summer. How are you balancing everything?
I stockpile sample packs and travel packs of both skincare and supplements. So say you buy a supplement every month and they always have like the one pack. Don't use it just for fun. Save it for summer, save it for traveling. I'm going to talk this as like a travel one. Same with like Sephora sales, or they have the free samples. I stockpile those. So like, for example, I talked about in a past episode, I was testing colostrum for a video. And I didn't want to bring that like annoying thing, but they'd sent me 3 samples. So I was like, I'm going to keep that for the weekend. I'm going to be traveling so I can stay on it. So I'm like, hoard your samples, or you can order samples, but they tend to be overpriced. But then like I always have AG1 elements and all those sample packs. Just it's so handy. And then that way it gives you a little bit of routine. even if you're just traveling to the beach, when you're on the go, even throughout the day, it's kind of nice to throw it in your purse. You want to go for a full day walking around town. And yeah, that's my little tip.
I love that. I agree with that. That's kind of, it plays into mine where I just said bring your supplements with you, even if you're traveling, even if you're camping, like especially like greens or something like that, where you're trying to take it daily, just bring it with you and just remember, like maybe set an alarm on your phone. The travel packs are totally right. They're kind of fun to pack as well. You feel a little bit organized, and like say you're flying somewhere, bring a liquid IV with you, bring Element, and then just pop it in your water bottle. But don't like fully throw away your supplement routine just because of that. Protein, I get like that's harder to bring, or like you don't necessarily need to. But when it's something that maybe is like greens are helping you, just functionality, whatever, maybe Element with electrolytes. I know I get like really bad eye twitches if I don't have electrolytes every day. So just don't suffer. Just bring them.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. Number 5. Any mental health tip for this?
You got to plan some time away from phones right now. This is going to be important to enjoy summer. This is something I have to do, whether it be no phones after 5 p.m., no Sunday phones, because the saddest part about summer is you can't do every summer activity. But if someone's doing a summer activity that's cool, they're posting it on the gram or TikTok. And you'll always have FOMO. There's always someone at a cooler trip. There's always someone with a cuter outfit. There's always going to be that. And all that's going to do is take away from you. So mindfully being like, oh, I'm going on Pinterest to see cute outfit ideas for a trip. You could do that. That's great. But I know for myself, I've been in like Spain, Ibiza, my dream. And then I look, I'm like, oh, she's in Italy. And then you feel like crap. You're like, oh, I wish I was in Italy. You almost don't enjoy the moment. So like really try to get, the best way to get rid of FOMO is to just not know what else is going on. So when you're there, I don't want to be cheesy and say live in the moment. Just be aware that you don't want to get FOMO from a trip, because the reality is traveling sucks. Summer sucks. So you might see this beautiful picture of her in Champagne, France, and it looks great. Her flight was delayed 3 times. She has a mosquito bite on her butt that she's been scratching the whole time, and she lost her luggage. Like, you don't actually know. It looks glamorous, but just a little less social media for your mental health so you can enjoy the moment.
I like that. Plus, once it's not summer, then you'll be like romanticizing when you were sitting on your porch having coffee in the morning. Like, I feel like all my summer memories go to growing up in Washington, since where I live is so skewed with it being hot all the time. And that's like what I think of is like how beautiful it was to sit on my porch, hear the birds, my dog sitting outside, running outside, you know. And then I probably was looking at social media being like, oh, darn, I wish I was in California. I wish I was here. And it's like, I have great memories of that now. And I wish I could go back. Right. So I'm going to my cousin's wedding in May, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's not necessarily summer yet in Washington, but I look forward to, it's going to be warmer. I know I can sit on my mom's porch. Like, oh, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And just looking out over the Puget Sound with her. It's just so nice.
Gorgeous.
I would say my mental health tip was it's sunny, it's warm. And like sometimes we will be overwhelmed with our social life in the summer because everybody wants to get together. Everybody wants to get off work early. Just don't forget to take time to spend with yourself, whether it's like grabbing a nice coffee and going for a walk on a trail or gardening. Like a lot of us have picked up the homestead life, the garden life. But like have little tasks that it's like you're completing yourself during it. I think that's quite important. I know even with me on Saturdays, I like to like garden in my backyard and just like, I don't know, just spend time with myself, because sometimes I think I will get so emotionally drained from spending time with friends, and like you need to fill up somehow. And like summer, you can just be really overwhelmed because everybody wants to get together. Everybody wants to hang out. Just don't forget to hang out with yourself and just take it in.
I love that. I love it. Very important.
Very important. Okay, next up, boundaries. Do you have any tips for those people, like I just said, that are pressuring you to hang out, but you're trying to maybe stick to your fitness goals, whatever it is, you're just trying to vibe out?
So I'm going to actually do the anti-boundaries. Now I'm team boundaries, but I know you're going to say it from one way. And I was like, oh, I'm going to appeal to both girlies, because there's some girlies, I'm one of those, has to learn to put boundaries. I have to learn so I can be my routine, but also I can get stuck in that routine and mindlessly follow it. And it's like, this is what I do, and I have to do this, and this is part of my day. And if I don't do it, I get thrown off. Throw it off. You'll be okay. It's the summer. It's meant to be spontaneous. If you're in the north, you only get it for 2 months. Throw it away. If your friend invites you, and if it's like every week and you're, like you said, you're getting overwhelmed and all that, but if randomly it's 2 p.m. on a Thursday, you've done the work, your friend's like, want to go hit up a patio? Nope. Actually, yes, I'm going to go. So if you're a real boundary routine following girls, really step back and be like, am I being too strict? Should I lean into the flow of summer? You still need boundaries, but just let that flow, spontaneity of the season take you if you're a strict rule follower like myself. But also the flip side, that can not always be the case, which Sav is going to mention right there.
I love that perspective though, because you're totally right. We can be like our own, like sometimes do you ever feel this way where you're like, you look back at something and you're like, I could have just done that. Like, why was I so stressed out about this? Or why was I, there's so many times I'm like, why was I so type A about that? Where I could have just like chilled out, had a better time if I wasn't stressed out about something that didn't matter at the end of the day because I don't even remember why. Right?
Yeah. You're speaking to the choir. I feel all the time. Even like my job's busy and I got to do a lot of things. I got to be very strict. And every once in a while, I'm like, you're not a heart surgeon, girl. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you don't do something today. Like the world isn't affected by you. People would just be like, oh, no video Saturday. That sucks. That's all that would happen. It's not the end of the world.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I guess with that, my spin on it was to be okay setting boundaries with your friends and family if you are trying to prioritize something. Like for me, this was all about how do I still get myself to the gym? How do I still like show up for myself? Whether it's just making time to go in the morning or maybe going in the evening before sunset, like before whatever your activities are. But just make sure they respect your time with it and like just have a little conversation. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be intense. It could just be like, hey, this is like something really important to me. I know when my dad and stepmom just came to visit me and I was like, hey, do you mind? Like, I'm going to work out in the mornings. Like they're just enjoying having a cup of coffee. I'm like, do you care? And they're like, no, absolutely. It's like, I just checked with them. They didn't even mind it. And then that way I could like get my workout in and then not have to worry and not dwell on it. Like, oh, I need to fit it in somehow. Right.
Yeah. Aim for that 80%. You know what I mean? Go somewhere. Don't throw away your routine and just say, oh no, they're visiting, never work out. Be like you said, show up, have that routine, have that structure, put up that boundaries. And then occasionally, if they're like, hey, can we go do something? Go do that random something. And that's the balance, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last but not least, this tip is how to eat healthy in the summer. Something around the health.
So my tip is something I've really tried to be better at during the last few years. I'm not perfect at it. It's not about perfection. It's just trying to add more in, is eating seasonally. The fruit will be better for the environment. The fruit or vegetables will be more local. It will taste better. It will have more nutrients. It's just a win-win all around. So I found some fruits and veggies to keep your eyes out on for right now. Cherries, blueberries, pineapple, raspberries, strawberries, mangoes, melons, and one's a fruit, but some tomatoes and cucumbers, like just those fresh in the salad, on a rice bowl, in your water, in your smoothie, on a snack, garnish things. So instead of like thinking about what you can't have and all this, just being like, oh, all those are in season. I'm just going to add them. And what kind of recipes can I make that utilize a cherry or a tomato? And that's how I've really thought about eating it seasonally. I'm like, I start with that. And then I'm like, oh, what can I make with those in season fruits and vegetables? And they change every few months. So it forces me to try new things and it's better for you in the environment. So it's kind of a win-win.
I love that. That's cool. I wish I lived somewhere that had more seasons with that.
True. You're a little out
but
of luck
it sounds
there.
Delicious. Yeah, right.
You get a lot of fresh local fruit though all the time. I feel for you. That isn't that plus?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So. We always up on the fruit.
Love that.
Okay, mine would be easy go-to protein shakes. You could literally buy them at Costco or you could just like find a powder you love, put it in water. But I was trying to think in the spin of like, you get home from work, you're rushing to a barbecue, a bonfire, and like you didn't have time to eat yet, whatever it may be. And there's just maybe like the food you don't love or whatever. I have been doing this where I'll just have a protein shake right after the gym or before I go somewhere. So I like have like my staple of like my protein in, and then I can like have whatever I want, or just it's kind of like a good starter for me. So I'm not overindulging in like a ton of s'mores because I'm so hungry. I didn't have anything before.
Mm-hmm. It's such a nice way. Like protein, we're all learning how important it is. And it's like, it's kind of nice that you don't have to go somewhere and be like, oh, like you said, at a camp out, where's the protein? You're like, I'm covered. I'm just going to have hot dog and s'more. It's not that deep.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So with that being said, I have a couple questions, and then we'll wrap it up. So someone wants to know, what is your favorite drink right now?
Oh, my favorite drink. Well, Poppy just came to Canada, so that's pretty dang fun. That's pretty dang fun. So I'm enjoying that. Alani is also now coming out with all the flavors here in Canada. So I just, those are the first two that just popped to mind right there. Are we talking alcoholic beverage? Because
Let's give both.
alcoholic beverage. I want to try this. This is not my favorite, but Casamigos just came out with a jalapeno tequila.
Ooh.
And I saw someone make a tomato margarita with it. So I'm not saying it's my favorite, but my eyes are on that. Just
that
like
sounds
I think
amazing.
that could, right? And like, so my
Like
eyes are on it. Not my,
a Bloody Mary in a sense.
well, we call it a Caesar in Canada, but yes.
Oh.
Have you ever had a Caesar?
Is it a Bloody Mary?
No. Bloody Mary is a knockoff Caesar. Caesar is the real deal. Like when Canadians go to America, we're like, we settle for a Bloody Mary, but it's not the same. When you come up, I will give you a Caesar. Oh,
Is it,
so
are there
good.
like fixings in it like
So
Bloody
it's
Mary?
we have this like clamato juice, it's called. So we don't just use tomato juice. We have like a specific type of like tomato juice that you'd like buy in a carton. It's called clamato juice, and it's got, I know it sounds crazy, clam juice, I think is what it originally started with it. That's where the name came, but it just gives it this like flavor to it. Then you put Worcestershire sauce in it. You put a little Tabasco, and the garnishes, you always get like pickles and pickled asparagus and pepperoni sticks and all that. Anyways, it's so good. So honestly, jalapeno tequila margarita with tomato juice instead of lime, little splash of clam juice. I'm just saying it, that for your hangover.
That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. How about yours? What's yours?
I love those. For drinks, non-alcoholic, I've really been into like fruit teas. I like had it recently with my friend, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was a raspberry herbal tea, and it just unlocked everything because it makes it sweeter. Like, think of chamomile or mint. It's just like this kind of weird flavored water that's like not sweet at all. This fruit just naturally enhances it a little bit, but it's just a tea bag. So I bought like this mix of 5 different fruit teas, and I've just been slowly going through them. I think I just went through like a mango black tea one. So that's like a fun new thing that I've been doing. And then drink wise, I'm trying to think what I've been enjoying lately. I've lately been really into tequila and kind of doing like a tequila Collins. That's like light and fresh. Or what is it where... Oh my gosh, we talk about all the time where it's tequila, lime juice, just shaken with ice, over ice.
So it's technically a margarita, but missing a few things. But
it's like people usually do it with vodka, but I do it with tequila.
So just, are you saying just vodka mixed with lime juice? Shaken?
But I do it with tequila.
It'd be like it could almost, I don't know, it'd be martini. Wouldn't it be like a cosmopolitan or something? Lime. Vodka.
Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. My friend showed me it and I loved it. It was like our summer drink in New York because it's like low calorie. It's not sweet. Like I just like straight give me the punch.
That's usually why, like, if you could order technically gimlet. Yes. Oh, there we go. Yes.
So
I know
yummy.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's
my
nice summer. So good. And if they make it really well, you could even like put a dash of honey or agave in it. But I just like things a little sour. But yeah. Okay. And then I'll do one more. Let me see. How often do you get to see each other in person since you live in different countries? That's for you and Megs.
Oh, me and Megs. So our usual schedule is we'll do 3 months on, 3 months off. And then meet each other in the middle. So like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like 3 months without seeing each other is too far. So like in that gap for like 4 to 6 weeks, I'll go over for like 10 days. So it's normally it'd be like I'd be there for December, January, February. Then we'll come April, May. Wait, what's it? March, April, May. I'll go over once, like I went over beginning April, and then I'll go over for summer, May and June. Then he'll come to Canada for July. Then he's got to go back. And then I will have like 6 weeks. Then I'll pop over for a week. And then I'll have another couple weeks. And then the cycle repeats. And so it works out to be about we're, 7 months together, give or take a little. And then just a little bit of time apart. So
Yeah.
it works. It's a little unconventional. But at first I thought they meant you and me. I was going to be like, not enough.
It might have been you and me because she didn't specify. And then now I'm thinking, I'm like, didn't say Megs. I just assumed. I was like, well, I live in the same country as my partner, but I'll answer for you and I in our relationship. Honestly, yeah, not enough. For a while, we were seeing each other a lot because I had the wedding. So you went to my bachelorette party. We would see each other for certain events. And then when was the last time we saw each other?
It wasn't your wedding, was it? No, or Houston was after. No,
Houston. I think it was Houston. We went to Houston together, filmed. We need to plan. That's why I'm like, we could plan a stagecoach next year, but we need to plan something else. We're thinking possibly the Seattle thing, if I can make it work.
True. Exactly. Yeah. So we're thinking, so it's about, I'd say 1 to 3 times a year, we try and make it happen.
Yes.
You and me.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, we're virtual.
So I see you a lot. I just can't touch you.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. Leave a 5-star review, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.